If you're an online coach or personal trainer and you want to charge between $1,000 and $3,000, there are a few things you have to do. One of them is the offer. We're going to talk about that today and building out your offer as best as possible. Now, this is something that was actually shared with my students in the social blueprint. So if you like this and you think, oh, that was pretty helpful, then plug and join it, because you'll think that a lot more stuff is helpful inside the blueprint. But anyway, this is just a little excerpt because I thought I was going to make a podcast on it anyway, and this is easier. So let me plug this in. Hope you guys enjoy. If you do, show some love. You know the drill. 5 stars, subscribe, do all that jazz. Maybe share it if it's helpful, and let's get into it. The problem we see a lot is the offer is meh. Like it's just like it's okay. It's just like it's kind of boring. It's a bit bland. Maybe it's not for anyone specifically, or it just doesn't have any like wow factor to it. So that's typically the biggest problem. The next one is inconsistent messaging. So this is where you say you serve one person, yet your content tells another story. Now that's not necessarily a delivery problem, but it kind of feeds into each other because it's something to think about, of being fully aware of who we're serving and how we're serving them as well. So we need to have that messaging aligned, and average systems. So your systems being poor, from sales systems to delivery systems as well. So these are easy fixes as well. That's why they're the most common problems, whereas what we want is a winning offer. That is what we want. A winning offer is something that makes it basically irresistible to the target audience, and we tick off as many boxes as possible to do that. We have a lot of workshops and trainings on how to do that, but we're going to go through a super quick one today as well. And finally, we want systems to deliver. So nice and easy to streamline it and to make it as easy as possible. And there's some software you need now, which we'll kind of get into, and there's some software you'll need later. And at a much later date, there's even more things we can do to automate and streamline, but we're going to keep it super simple. So for now, you need some form of software to run your coaching, right? So I'm sure if you're here now, you already have a method of doing it. OneFit is probably up there with the most streamlined, in my opinion, but it doesn't matter. As long as what you use gets good results and you're happy with it, clients are happy with it, great. If you needed to do a reboot and you were just using spreadsheets, I'd probably say if you want to do meal plans, use OneFit. Otherwise, Trainerize is pretty good. Loom is going to be your best friend for check-ins, as well as just quick updates to people as well. I mean, if you don't have Loom, just grab that. You may as well. It's super easy. DocuSign for contracts or any other equivalent e-signer. For payments, Nui or Stripe. Stripe is the most common, but Nui actually just runs off the back of Stripe. So Nui, if you have an iPhone, you can only get Nui, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd use Stripe. But it makes it really, really easy to set up payment plans, installment plans, or anything like that. Dead simple, just to make sure you've got something, a method of sending people a payment link on the call that you can customize if you need to really quickly. And it also has a really good way of managing all your clients as well. Calendly, just an easy scheduler. If you have another scheduler that works, fine, but Calendly is super easy. This is going to be where you're booking your sales calls, and some ability to make forms. So Google Form, Typeform. Typeform is my favorite because it has a lot more integrations in it, so you can have automations and stuff like that. But this could be for check-ins if it's outside the software, or it could be for an application form, expression of interest, building an email list, anything you want, some ability to make forms. So if you don't have any of these now, write these down and go straight away, go grab them. That's going to be really helpful. Now, software you need later is some form of basically CRM software. So we can help with that as well, but this is going to be basically to track leads and track your whole sales funnel, create a big sales pipeline as well, so you know where everyone is at every step of the way. And so that's really where you start to streamline and automate stuff. The winning offer. So like I said, there is an offer, there are offer trainings in here, but we're going to dive in really quickly, do an express one, and to make sure that yours is basically up to speed. So if you need to work on this a lot, that's okay. But hopefully you're like, yep, take one thing, should be good, tick it off, move on. Cool. So the notion of risk and reward, this is the whole centerpiece of an offer. And what we want is when we're dealing with customers, they do not want to take a risk. That's why anything we can do to reduce that risk is going to be better for us. If we could take the risk down to zero and maximize the reward, everyone would buy it. They'd be like, this is amazing, if they had the money. As opposed to some offers, they sit around this point. They're like, they're okay. The reward sounds good, but sometimes the reward doesn't even sound that good. And it's just like, oh, you get in shape, but that's it. And the risk is the money, and if it doesn't work, because it doesn't seem like it's legit. So we want to make it feel to people like it's just a no-brainer and minimal risk. So that's what we want to have in mind. There's a few ways we do that. The first one is the promise, which we'll get into in a minute. the process, how we're going to do it, the price, where it sits at, any installment plans, payment plans, potential, if we're going to do any price anchoring or anything like that, urgency and scarcity to make sure people actually feel like they need to act quickly, a guarantee to really reduce the risk on their end and bring the risk on to us, and then bonuses. And bonuses are anything basically free extra that we're going to sweeten the deal. We'll talk about in a minute. So starting with the promise. So the promise is the core of your offer. If you have one thing that your offer will accomplish of like why anyone would want to sign up and the most, that's your promise. That's what you're promising. And the reason why it's emotionally charged is because we make decisions emotionally, not necessarily logically. Otherwise, people probably wouldn't need this service, right? So we're emotional people, so we need to cater this emotionally. So that's why, for example, helping busy dads lose over 10 kilos, specific, build unstoppable confidence and have the energy to show up as the best version of themselves for their family and for life. If you were to like look at this as and compare that to I help, age range, I help busy dads lose weight, compare the differences. This is going straight into the avatar's why. And you don't need to necessarily tell people this. You can, we'll talk about that in a second, but you need to be pretty familiar with it because you need to know what you are actually delivering at its core, like what that whole promise is. So for example, with this program here, my promise is not just to make people more money, but it's what that's going to do for them when they really get to that goal. Like that is what I think about when I think of doing this stuff. And even when we think about promoting it, marketing it, and selling it as well. So now for your bios, there's going to be, let's say this example here of busy dads losing 10 kilos, building confidence, energy to show up for their family and themselves. That they're really big pain points that they're already experiencing, those avatars. So now we have to have that in our bio as well. So I'd love you to format your bio in this particular way or some variation as long as it basically matches. It doesn't need to be word for word. But so let's say the busy dads example, straight away, helping busy dads lose over 10 kilos, gain confidence and have more energy for their family. Now there's a call to action, DM me start to learn more. It's a soft call to action because it's not like DM me start to join, learn more. So dipping the toes in. And a bit of a little slogan here, no time, no problem, I'll show you how. Could be like appealing if people, if the audience doesn't have time. Second option, a bit more of like a funny one. I help dads get fit so they don't look like their kid's grandpa. Lose 10 kilos, gain energy, be a high performance father. DM dad and I'll send you the blueprint. Something like that as well. It's pretty appealing and alluring because it's like, well, what's that? What's a blueprint? Because then if people find your page and this guy's like, imagine a dad who's like resonates with this going, that's amazing. I need that. Straight away, they could be in the DMs. Third one, helping busy dads lose 10 kilos and have more energy for their family. No strict diets, no crazy workouts, just real results. So this is now moving into like without the pain. So it's like helping promise without the pain. And then, of course, a call to action. DM me info and I'll send you the details. I like this as like, I'll send you the details because it kind of sounds like, oh, everyone loves details. Everyone wants to read the brochure, but unfortunately there is no brochure. So they're going to be disappointed when they get prompted for a conversation. But anyway, it gets them in the door a lot better. So have a look at these and think which one resonates with you the most. Which one do you feel like, yep, that's good, or you can make some changes to it. Usually in the promise, there's a classic like helping people achieve dream outcome without the thing that they fear most or hate in a particular time. That's usually that. I don't think you need to put a time frame on it. I think you can just put the promise out there. If you want to go through the without the what they don't want, no strict diets, crazy workout, up to you, totally fine. But I think you guys get the point of it has to have promise, some kind of extra extra bit down here of what they're going to get, and a call to action. Most importantly, tell the person what to do next. So please, after this video, go and reformat your bio to suit this for your target audience. Cool. Process. How are you going to do it? How are you going to get them there? What does your service entail? Pretty simple. I'm guessing it has some form of nutrition, training, and support. That's essentially it. So nutrition, it could be macros, it could be meal plans, it could be a combination of both. Training, however you structure your training programs, you could use Trainerize, or you could use OneFit. If you're doing meal plans as well as training, I'd probably use OneFit if you don't already, just because it's all centered in there, or Kahuna's centered in there as well. If you already have that, like I said, amazing. You don't need to change it. But if you're looking to change, a couple of options for you too. Support, obviously, how you're supporting your clients in terms of accountability, whether that is a Zoom or group, Could be a Loom as a check-in, just could be a check-in form. Could be tech support as well. Adding those in there to give them the best results, but also free up your time. So sometimes people starting off, they think, well, I need to just do one-on-one Zooms because it's going to be the best results for people. So I should do a check-in every week or twice a week. But also remember is that more isn't always better for people. So if you can get them the result with less work from them of having to rock up to a call, or worse, not rock up and then feel like, oh, what's the point anymore? I can't do this, and then want to give up. If you can get them the results without that, make it easier for them, it's going to be better. So you could go from, instead of Zooms every week or built in there, you could be a Loom check-in every week, and then you could have a Zoom whenever they need it. As many as they need it, you could be available for them, but that at least frees up your capacity straight away. So I would never really recommend doing one-on-ones with everyone, mandatory, unless you don't have many clients at all. But if you already have a couple clients and you want to grow, you may as well just kind of cut that straight out and just have a Loom check-in so you can scale it up, a group call if you want. Otherwise, they can kind of book in with you if they like. Cool. So go over your systems and make sure you have some way to deliver it. It's kind of pretty streamlined and easy. But again, we can work on this later if you've already done a bit of it. It just has to be working to the point of getting clients, obviously. Price, this is probably something you could make adjustments to because, like I said, you want to charge probably a little bit more than what you think. At least $1,000 total and an incentive to pay in full over monthly options. So, I mean, the incentive is just, it's my preference, but you don't have to do it. So looking at these as an example pricing, you could choose any of these or make your own, but $1,500 for 3 months, that's a pay in full price, PIF, or it could be $600 a month, $150 a week kind of thing. So it's obviously a higher incentive to pay in full. 4 months, $2,600. Is $550 a month, $150 a week, same kind of deal. 6 months, $3,000, $600 a month, or $150 a week. So the whole purpose here is if people have the money, they should pay in full. They should just PIF if they have the money available. If they don't, they need a payment plan, okay. And worst case, if you need to negotiate the payment plan on the call with them, of course you can just drop it down and split it down the middle or whatever you like to do. But having this is always an incentive to get the money in our pocket first in advance. It's always, if you can, get that. But these are the kind of price ranges that I would like you guys to be charging. So either 15, 2,600, $3,000, something like that, and only really choose one. Don't have 4 different methods really, because the more choice you give people, the more decision they're going to need to make. And as you'll find, they're probably going to think about it for too long. So choose one and let's roll with that. One offer, one target audience, one price. Cool. Urgency and scarcity, just something to think about when you're marketing your offer. So you don't really need to do anything now in this. It's just something to think about. So just explain the concepts of urgency is the function of time. So 5 days left, bonuses end today, something like that. It's a timing thing. Scarcity, there's spots left, things are left, the bonuses are left. So it's trying to encourage them to take action faster. You'll use that in your marketing. Guarantee, you might need to add one of these to your offer as well. So it's depending on what your process is. If your process is the guarantee is that there is no guarantee, nothing's guaranteed in life, it's like that might work for you as well. But if you want to give them something to make them feel more at ease and help get them over the line, you can do a couple of these. So a few of my favorites are the conditional. So full refund if the client attends all calls and adheres to the plan, doesn't hit their agreed goal. So it's basically saying, yep, well, if we said we'll get you here, if you do everything I say and you attend the things and whatever they have to do and you don't get the result, money back, 100%. Makes them at ease because at least they think, okay, well, it works if I just do it. But the problem is some people have a lot of self-doubt and they're like, oh no, I know it will work, but I just can't do it. Then that doesn't solve that one. So another one is if they follow everything and don't get results, you work for free until they do. That's like a work for free guarantee. Not bad. I don't mind that. Some people like it. Some people might feel like, well, how long is it going to take me then? So it depends on the type of person. Unconditional, full refund, no questions asked. I don't like that particularly because people who, I just don't like that, but I thought I'd at least show you the differences and are better than money back. So if the client doesn't get results, they'll get a full refund plus $500 or whatever. That's obviously the best outcome for them because it feels like you're super confident in what you do, and you can combine them. So you can make a conditional and better than money back guarantee. Or you can add in this one as well. If you don't get the results and you do everything we say, I will give you a full refund, give you $500 and help get you there for free. It's like, whoa, no brainer. But the cheeky thing about guarantees is it does require work from them. So if you set up your conditions to be them jumping on a their designated calls or responding to their check-ins or adhering to their plan over 90% of the time, and you can quantify it and you have the numbers there, or you have an accountability spreadsheet they have to fill in every week or something like that to show that they've been doing what they're doing, then totally fair. Because if you can't get them the results and they've done everything you said, then they probably shouldn't have paid, right? But it's usually the people who obviously don't do what you say. And so having some form of tracking to make it conditional where you can track what they've been doing, whether that's the accountability thing or attending the calls or checking in or whatever that is, that makes it really easy as well. Finally, bonuses. Bonuses are not just giving people free stuff because you've got it. That's not it. That's just lazy. A really good bonus is taking their objection, their reason for not wanting to do the thing and join the program, other than price, of course, and turning it into a bonus and giving it to them for free. So it's if you can list their biggest objections. So for example, it's hard to eat healthy with a family. Okay, so bonus, you'll get my family-friendly nutrition blueprint. So this is going back to, say, the dad's example earlier. And what they get, smart swaps, cheat sheet, easy swaps to make it easy for the family, fast and family-friendly recipes. So you're basically taking their objection and you're giving it to them for free, and you put a value on it as well. So you might say that's valued at like $500 or whatever, if it's a big program. If it's an ebook or a cheat sheet, it might just be $150 or something like that. But you can have 3 bonuses, maybe 4 bonuses, or one really epic one, and have them tackle particular objections. And that it'll just sweeten the deal a lot more as well, because then the only thing they're left thinking about is the price, if they can actually pay you. So that's why if you combine all of these areas of, you've got a great promise, it's super clear to your target audience, you've got a good process that gets them there, you have a great price that's high enough for you, and an ability for them to have a payment plan if needed. You have urgency and scarcity throughout your marketing. You have a guarantee to help reduce the risk on the call as well. And then you have bonuses to just stack up the value. You're looking at a pretty great offer. So from here, I'd love you to have a look at those, identify what you don't have and what you need to change, and literally just make the change immediately. Format your bio, add the changes in, write a list of what you have to do, and get to it.